time on the road. And pretty much every night we had around 15 guys having a dinner, and obviously there's always somebody who has family in town or something, but we had so much fun just going out together and hanging out.
If you see me twitching up here, it's because the red light keeps going off, and you don't like that as goaltender, right?
How about Canada yesterday, huh?
Where players dash with skates of flash, the home team trails behind, but they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees. They travel like a burning
We got the Zamboni. Good.
We see them
Just touch that up. That's good.
We had a very special presentation here. This is the Parade of Champions. Now, this is the part of the weekend where we acknowledge and celebrate the young boys and girls of the minor hockey associations out here in Williams Lake. Now, we're going to get into this a little bit further once the broadcast starts. We've been having a wonderful and incredible weekend here in Williams Lake, but right now this is where we acknowledge, as I said, the minor hockey association of Williams Lake. Now, as they make their way through the fight, now make sure to give all the love and support to the All
right, guys, wait for that camera right there. Wait for the camera, guys.
Put your hands together for a Parade of Champions. Built up of almost 600 kids, boys and girls. They're putting over almost 600 kids on the ice this winter, which is just fantastic. Some of the teams we have the Williams Lake Avalanche, we have the Bantam Blue House team, we have the Red Female, we have the Syracuse Timberwolves, we have Midget Red, Syracuse Timberwolves, Roberts Greyhounds.
We lost some of our teams, that's okay.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, just to run down all the members of our parade here, we have the Williams Lake Minor Hockey Association, built with almost Sparky the dog, and the town crier here. So a lot of great names and faces here from this great community. As we fill up our broadcast space here, we're getting very close to that live national broadcast, but this is our favorite way to lead into it with the Parade of Champions. One more time for your Parade of Champions, everyone.
Can you hear us? How's everybody in Williams Lake today? My God, you look fantastic. Tara Sloan, Rusty Patnaud, who's of course a great hockey player, Mark Messier. This was his idol. Rusty, you all know and probably don't get excited, but we do. And Rusty's on the show. Evan Fuller's on the show. Obviously, Cody Call's story's on the show. Tara went and caused the... who dropped the gloves? Colin, he dropped the gloves in the first minute of the game last night, the Stampeders senior hockey game. So we're honored to be here. You're going to host the Koi Cup. You've already had the Canucks have had their Caribou tournament in mid-December. You're hockey through and through. When the show gets on the air, when we hand it over to Carey Price of Anaheim and Williams Lake, then we can come out and get photographs. Thank you for such a great turnout, especially figure skaters, speed skaters, the swim team. Tara, you want to have an opening thought? You've been here for a lovely day.
Yeah, this is, can you guys hear me? I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of all of us on the crew, we are absolutely blown away by the spirit here. I know the mayor said you guys had the summer from hell, and we were all watching from afar and wishing you well. And here you are, and here we are, and thank you so much for showing up. We so appreciate it, you guys.
All right, have a great day. Enjoy.
All right, Williams Lake, are we excited for this or what?
Yes!
This is just incredible for all of us here, as Ron and Tara said, from the bottom of our hearts. To be here with you today in Williams Lake is truly something very special for us. We are going to do our best. I know everyone in the broadcast is going to do their best to really showcase what wonderful people there are here in Williams Lake. So we have a great game lined up, ladies and gentlemen, between the Canucks and, of course, those Montreal Canadiens. So my question to you is, are there any Canadiens fans out there? A mix of both, it seems. Awesome. And do we have any Vancouver Canucks fans? Now, my final question is, do we have any Carey Price fans out there? Yeah, he'll be on the broadcast show as well throughout the evening. I mean, I know he's done so much for this wonderful community that has given him a lot. Of course, coming up to start the show, we're going to showcase this wonderful city, but we're also, of course, going to mention the experience that you went through this past year. And all of us here on Rogers Hometown Hockey, we can't begin to understand and really appreciate what everyone had to do to get through that. But I mean, being here in Williams Lake and talking with everyone, it's incredible. You have so much to be proud of. I mean, you guys have persevered, something that is something so unimaginable. You've worked together and you've really bonded as a community, and that's so special to us. I mean, we came here hoping to aid in that healing process that you guys are going through and put some smiles on some faces, but all of these faces have been smiling already. All of you guys are just the salt of the earth. So I just want to thank you guys so much for welcoming us here with Rogers Hometown Hockey. Please give yourselves a big round of applause, Williams Lake.
Emanating from Caribou Country in British Columbia. We are with the lands of the people of the Confluence, the Siouxwapna, and their neighboring nations such as the Chilcotin, the Shuswap, the land known for the mighty rivers, the Columbia, the Fraser, the North and South Thompson, and the Shuswap. This was the feeding grounds, and it was also the frozen dance floor for the many great skaters you'll find in Williams Lake, BC. Welcome.
Welcome everyone, my name is Chief Ann Louie. I'm from the Williams Lake Indian Band. We're one of the 5 Northern Shuswap bands and one of the 17 Shuswap bands. I'd like to take this opportunity to say welcome to Ron McLean and Tara Stone from Rogers Hometown Hockey Series. What an awesome day and performance this will be. Kukstako.
Kukstako.
The entire community of Williams Lake was evacuated on Saturday night. 37,000 people have now been forced from their homes.
My name is Des Webster.
Colin Rolston.
Kathy Ferguson.
Skylar McCarthy.
Joan Flasspuller. I'm an assistant chief here with the Williams Lake Fire Department. Right away when you find out that the fires are in your community, the emotion that is predominant for all is fear.
We never thought that this would ever happen to our community.
You think about the steps you have to correctly follow to fight that fire.
You want to be confident. You want to be ready mentally.
We've prepared as best we can for it. Now we just got to put that into practice and get back to Williams Lake to try and protect our community.
The amount of support from the community was amazing.
It really is a brotherhood.
They would thank us constantly.
It was really wonderful to see that come together.
Myself and my crew got stuck in the fire when the wind changed and the fire blew in behind us. We couldn't get out. The heat was coming through the windows. That's something I'll never forget.
You could see the fear. The people were scared.
My girlfriend had just given birth to our son 2 weeks prior, so until they got out of town, that's really all I can think about.
Bravery is just being able to put on that face of confidence and getting the job done.
Combating your fears.
Someone who unselfishly helps someone else that can't help themselves during periods of adversity. The key word in that phrase, I think, is unselfishly.
My fire department here were amazing.
At various times last summer, there were as many as 4,700 personnel on the front lines dealing with the worst wildfires this province has ever seen. Ron, you can see the devastation as soon as you land on the airplane. The brave women and men from the Williams Lake Fire Department, instrumental in keeping residents out of harm's way. More with them in just a few minutes. Now, life is back to normal on the Caribou Chilcotin, where hockey is the name of the game, and it's Williams Lake's most famous product leading the charge tonight in Montreal. Carey Price, he played his minor hockey in this city. He had 44 saves during Montreal's huge shootout win against the best team in the league, Tampa Bay, on Thursday. It is Anders Nilsson who's getting the start for the Vancouver Canucks. They have not been able to find a win against the Montreal Canadiens in their last 4 meetings, but the Canucks, hoping the return of Sven Baertschi will give the team a boost. He missed Vancouver's last 11 with a broken jaw. And as usual this season, they'll be looking to Brock Boeser to provide some much-needed offense tonight. Ron Kristanev still out looking for his teeth.
Bob
Cole, Gary Galley, Dan Murphy are in Montreal, Tara, and Nelson had a really bad outing last time for the Vancouver Canucks. Carey Price knows what it is to be a goaltender and all the pressure and stress that comes with it. He grew up 300 kilometers away from here in Anaheim Lake, but he played minor hockey here, and this is the Parade of Champions for Williams Lake minor hockey. It's a population of 11,000, 50,000 in the area, 600 kids, 20% of them. More on them coming up. They'll host the Grey Cup again. The Caribou Canucks is a great Aboriginal Indigenous hockey tournament that took place in mid-December in town. Not only are the hockey players here, Tara, but we have the Bluefin swim team, we have the figure skaters, we have the speed skaters, we have the spirit of human nature that is Williams Lake. And that's what I think Carey Price, in his battle in goal, has, is that harmony with nature, is that perspective of not the commotion or the contamination of the bright lights in big city. He has this beautiful Caribbean idea of Caribou country to call on, and it's really impressive to see. You've been here 4 days, must have been something.
You know, my heart is in my throat just looking out at the crowd behind us. The streets are filled, and my heart is full because there are nothing but smiles. We talked to Walt Cobb, the mayor, earlier today, and he said this community had the summer from hell. We all watched from afar, and we prayed for the best. And it's just, the spirits are so high right now. It's really nice to see everybody back on their feet.
The railway town started in 1919 when the Pacific Great Eastern Railroad established roots here in town. This area, as I mentioned, now is about 50,000. It's a ranch land, obviously timber. And back in the day, to bring the cowboys who worked on the open ranges together in conjunction with the establishment of the railroad, they created the Calgary Stampede's version of a great rodeo, the Williams Lake Stampede. It's in its 92nd year. A dear pal of mine, Sidney Daines, won the second in barrel racing last year at this event. They used to just have it for locals, and they still have one local competition, but the very best in the world come here each and every year. And Sidney Daines, your husband Dwayne Daines, three-time all-around Canadian champion and a saddle bronc champ, broke his back in 1995 in Armstrong, BC at that rodeo. He's an inspiration, like the town's an inspiration, and of course, their most famous son.
Yes, Rick Hansen went to junior high and high school here. We had him with us in Surrey. He couldn't join us here, but he certainly sends his best regards. And this is where he came back to after he had his accident. He rehabbed in Vancouver. And after his Man in Motion tour, of course, he was welcomed with open arms. But this is where he went to high school at Columnisa High School, and two of his coaches, Bob Redford and Jack Berger, got him into coaching, and that sort of propelled him on to do what he did. So a real inspiration from here.
And when he brought his Man in Motion tour here, they raised $220,000 in a single day. He set up shop for 3 days, and that was more per capita.
Shots are even 3 apiece. Also, scoring chances, but there's no score yet. Looking to throw one coming down. Low shot. Big rebound off the ball. Price, the cover well by the Canadians. They don't get it down. Franklin's shot is off the block for a Price and out of play.
That's right, was going. Scott made so much. Trying to get goals. He's got a big one. Thursday. He's got another chance right there. That's already skates.
On his way to a career high, Boston can keep this thing going, stay healthy. As he drives to the net. Oh no, it goes off the defensive. I thought it might have been Gallagher, but it's short side the St. Peter's Report printing up with a great bunch of historical information about the team. So the St. Peter's